Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. Today's video, it's all about those personal missions. Well, it is and it isn't, because I have actually given up trying to play to get these individual missions completed. You might remember I put a video up in the TOG 2 on Malinovka where I actually completed every single requirement for the Relentless Raid heavy tank mission. Do at least 1,000 hit points worth of damage to the enemy team and participate in a successful capture of the enemy base. Yeah. In a TOG. Well, I ticked all the boxes, but the game refused to give me mission completion anyway. And it's partially because of things like that, but it's mostly because a lot of these individual missions are actually counterproductive to, winning the game. You see people doing some of the most dumb things, and it's because they have a certain mission that they're trying to complete, at the expense of actually winning the game that they're playing. And so I don't bother trying to get these missions complete. I still don't even have the Stug 4 from the first set of individual campaign missions, and I don't anticipate ever getting it. Now I mostly play without even knowing what current mission I'm running. If the mission happens, fantastic. If it doesn't, who cares? So, here we are, unfortunately, on Himmelsdorf in a tier 10 match in the Rhienmetall-Borsig. The kind of machine that excels in camping behind bushes and using its fantastic camo rating to strike fear into the enemy from afar. And that just isn't going to be happening very often in this machine with this matchmaking on this map. And World of Tanks spotting system isn't helping either. Here comes a bulldog, he's spotted, he's spotted, he's spotted, he's not, I fire, oh he's spotted, yeah it missed, of course it did. And of course he spotted me, so now I have to pull back, because Borsigs that get spotted very, very rapidly become dead Borsigs. What you saw happen there was the way World of Tanks spotting system actually renders enemy vehicles. The further away that vehicle is from you, the less often the game updates the position of the vehicle, so that's why it missed. Frustrating, but nothing you can do about it. That's the way the game works. Although they are looking into increasing the rate at which the game refreshes vehicles that have been spotted. So you shouldn't, whenever they come around to implementing this change, you shouldn't run into situations like that where there's an enemy vehicle right in front of you in spotting range, but it's going to take the game another quarter of a second before it refreshes his position and actually shows him to you. So situations like that shouldn't happen as often whenever they come around to implementing this change. Now, Quickie Baby's been killed, thanks to that T-71 running away and abandoning him. So I'm not anticipating getting an awful lot of backup, but this is one of the few places you can actually put the range and the accuracy at range of the Borsig's gun to use. This T-62A needs help, and I'm not anticipating surviving here for very long, but decent amount of damage. The gun on the Borsig, oh, bollocks. Okay, now I'm dead. Gun's damaged. At that range, though, I can still hit a T-34. And he has a very, very, very slow reload. But it's not slow enough. And I'm going to get one more shot into him. And, oh. Well, thank you, artillery. I'm still in this game. And the T-62A is still alive, so, okay, I wasn't planning on wasting a repair kit when I was about to die, but since I'm still alive, put a shot into the AMX, pull back again, make sure nothing else is popping up around the flank. T-62A is still alive. It looks like I'm no longer in immediate danger of dying, which is nice. Well, the 5120 has been finished off by the T-69, and again, this is a tough game for a T-69. He's a medium tank, tier 8, doesn't have an awful lot of armour, and his gun has terrible penetration, and it's a tier 10 match on Himmelsdorf. And he did play a good game, unfortunately. He was a massive arsehole about it. Just pay attention to chat and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, we know there's a Foch down there. He's on the other side of the warehouses, lining the railway line. Alright, quick look around. T-62A is moving up. What is it about that you see so often in World of Tanks, where it's the biggest arseholes in the game and the guys with the best stats? It's one of the reasons why I get along so well with players like Quickie Baby and Circon, because they're the best players in World of Tanks that I know, but you never see them acting like this T-69 driver does in chat. They're proper gentlemen. Anyway, the T-62A has buggered off, and I'm the only one on this flank now. There's a Foch down there. Oh, crap, crap, crap. Ooh, that was a spot of luck. Snapshot, fired, hit, damaged, and blew his tracks off. And because I blew his tracks off as well as damaging him, that's what kept me alive there, because the Foch has a terrible, terrible firing arc. He just wasn't able to point the gun at me. And we're winning quite handily. T-62A has just gotten himself shotgunned by the Batchat. Artillery. Oh, he's still pointing this way. I fire and it hits, but it bounces. More importantly, however, he doesn't get to shoot at me. I'm a one-shot kill now for just about everything on the enemy team in this game, so I can't afford to take another hit, but I need to keep this guy spotted. T-71 is making a move on their artillery. And I'm anticipating that because of that, the Foch is going to turn around and he's going to go and deal with the T-71. T-71 attacking the Batchat artillery, he's killed him. Looking around me at all times. Yeah, I know there's a Foch down there, and we are winning. In fact, there's only 3 enemy tanks left. Yep, he has turned around to deal with the T-71. T-69 is also coming in. There he is. T-69's putting some shots into him. But the Foch isn't... He's not coming out within firing range on this road, but maybe the T-69 can finish him off. No, it looks like he's... Oh, T-69's taking a big hit, and he's probably out of ammo and having to reload, and he's going to have to run. Now, unfortunately for me, the remaining 2 tanks on the enemy team, T-57 Heavy, who I did anticipate coming, and the spotting system didn't actually let me down that time, and the enemy E-100 are all coming down this way as well. Oh, crap. And the only thing with me here is that T-69. And he's running away because he's reloading. And also, you know, he doesn't want to face a T-57, an E-100, and a Foch at the same time. There's not an awful lot left on our team. We could still lose this. They've managed to pull the scores back, 12-11. There's the Foch. Got him. Now, there's 4 of us against 2 of them. But it's a T-57 Heavy and an E-100. And now they know where I am, and they know what kind of health I'm on. And I might just be a Tier 8 tank destroyer in a Tier 10 match, but I have a very, very, very nasty gun, so they're going to want to kill me first. And yeah, they're not stupid. I thought I might be able to overmatch the side armour of the T-57 Heavy, but no. So that's me done. But artillery, once again, comes to my aid and nails the T-57 Heavy. So there's just the E-100 left. Okay, I was never going to survive that, even if the artillery had fired a fraction of a second sooner. If the T-57 Heavy hadn't killed me, the E-100 would have. In fact, I think the E-100 did. But now, it's a pair of Tier 8s and artillery against an E-100. And the T-69 driver may have been a massive dick, but he wasn't stupid, and he's not going to face off against an E-100 from the front. I've never driven a T-69, but I thought they were a bit faster than this. This guy does not seem to be moving that quickly. I wonder if he had a damaged engine. But anyway, he's making intelligent use of what concealment is available to try to get away from this E-100. But RNG steps in, the E-100 fires on the move without even aiming, and of course hits him. And that severely rustled the jimmies of this T-69 driver, as you can see there in chat. Remember, being a good player does not necessarily mean you're a decent human being. So, I've actually done nearly 3,000 damage, which is about 3,000 more than I was expecting to do when I realised I was in the Rhienmetall-Borsig in a Tier 10 match on Himmelsdorf. And once again, I'm staring defeat right in the face. It's all down to this T-34 and the GW E-100. And if anybody can pull this off, it's going to be the GW E-100. Where did that E-100 go? Oh, he's there, he's fired. There he is. Come on. Shotgun. Yes! He actually hit the E-100's lower glacis. Check this out. Here it comes. Here it comes. There it goes. And there it is. So, game saved by artillery. Thank you very much, Mr. GW E-100. Because, you know, when you're in a Tier 8 machine in a Tier 10 match on Himmelsdorf, you do nearly 3,000 damage, you really don't want your team to lose. But when I got back to the garage, there was a sort of bonus prize sitting there waiting for me, because apparently I'd completed my tank destroyer mission without realising it. Which tank destroyer mission was it, Jingles? I'm glad you asked. Be top of your team on damage done. Didn't see that one coming. So, that was nice. The very next game that we played, I didn't save the replay, because the game was an utter disaster. It was quite comical though. We're both in the AMX CDC, myself and Quickie Baby again. And I'd managed to kill 2 enemy medium tanks while defending in assault mode on the Siegfried line. And then Quickie Baby, who was up on the ridge line as I was down in the bowl of the valley, had to go and answer the door. At the exact moment when 2 enemy tier 8 heavies and an ISU-152 came over the ridge, 30 metres away on Quickie Baby's right. Who did they all start shooting at? Yeah, not Quickie Baby. He was actually answering the front door at the time. So they killed me, and that was it for that match. But, once again, I'd actually managed to complete my medium tank mission by killing 2 enemy medium tanks. So the match was an utter disaster for me. We won, by the way. Quickie Baby came back from being AFK and went on to get 5 kills, so I hate him sometimes. Well, anyway, again, despite the fact that the match was a massive disaster, I accidentally completed the medium tank mission by killing 2 enemy medium tanks. So things were going very, very well. And then we jumped into the M103s. Now, Ike had joined us at this stage, and he's heading into the town while myself and Quickie Baby are sweeping around the flank to the west. Now this is quite unusual for me. Generally, if I'm in a heavy tank, particularly a top tier heavy tank as I am here in the M103, on this map I head into the town, but there's plenty of tanks have gone into the town, and the M103 is one of the more mobile of the heavy tanks in the game. So I put a shot into the object 430, pull back as the T-54 comes out, 430 bounces, the T-54 misses. From this point on, things do start to get a little bit frustrating. Quickie Baby pushes up very aggressively. He wants to finish off that T-54. I'm paying attention to the Object 430, thinking he's going to try to make a run down and get on our flanks, but he's not that stupid. He would just die. Move up. Oh, Centurion. Not an awful lot to shoot at. Was lucky to actually hit the guy there, but done some more damage. Quickie Baby is trying to focus some fire on that T-54, and he's yelling for backup. And this is what I'm talking about here. He's like, well, come on, shoot him, shoot him. I am trying to, but there's this M103 in the way. It's not his fault, of course. He's manoeuvring to avoid taking return fire. But every time he does move to avoid getting hit, he keeps driving his tank right in my line of fire. So, and again, not his fault. He's in front, I'm behind. I can see where he's manoeuvring, he can't see where I'm manoeuvring. So it's my responsibility to manoeuvre around him. I should have probably moved on his inside rather than his outside. But anyway, the T-54's dead. Now the Centurion. Terrible side armour. Kill him. Turn around to deal with the 430. He gets one shot into me. I take a hit from behind. But this guy's now dead meat. And bang, there we go. So now we've won the flank. Now we have to push on and basically develop the attack into the enemy base. What do they have up there? A T-44 and an SU-100M1. Possibly there's more up there, but at the moment we know there's an SU-100M1 and a T-44. We've got a lot of tanks on this flank, so we're going to continue pressing the advantage. Now, I stopped to look at the map because I noticed that Ike in his M103 has just died in the town. And the situation in the town, down there in the southeastern corner of the map, doesn't look too bad. It's funny how quickly a situation can change in World of Tanks, isn't it? Just keep one eye on that map as we push forward and try to... oh look, T-29 as well. Well, he's only a tier 7 heavy. We're in tier 9 heavies and we have a lot of backup. So we continue pushing forward. It would be stupid not to in this kind of situation. Particularly since the situation in the town is going to go pear-shaped very, very quickly. No idea where that shot went. Almost fully aimed, didn't even hit the T-29. Keep one eye on the map. Look at what's going on in the town. It's amazing how quickly things can go from doesn't look too bad to utter disaster in World of Tanks. Quickly as that, we've just lost the town. So, it's decision time. The enemy team are going to come streaming out of the town and they're going to attack our base. So, we're going to need to defend the base, but at the same time we're in a position to put pressure on their base. So we do in fact decide to do both. Quickie Baby's going to turn back and attempt to slow them down attacking the cap. Meanwhile, we're going to put pressure on their cap and maybe force them into splitting their forces, and that's when I take a big old hit. And as I turn the turret round to see what the hell was shooting at me, the T-44 takes that opportunity to put one into the side of my turret. I think it was the enemy Jagdpanther 2 who hit me with that big shot. Just as I started pushing into the enemy base here. But the T-44, he is dead meat. No sign of where the SU-100M1 has gone. Plant one into the T-44. The AMX CDC on my right is probably going to finish him off before I can reload. I'll try to close in for a RAM anyway, but yeah, the CDC finishes him off. So what we're doing now is we're doing two things at the same time. We're putting pressure on their base, and yep, that was a Jagdpanther 2. But we're putting pressure on their base and forcing tanks like this Jagdpanther 2 to come back and deal with that threat, which is diluting the attack that's going in on our own base, and Quickie Baby has gone back to deal with that. I'm not interested in actually capping here. You know, I want to kill more tanks and do more damage. But the fact that we're actually sitting here on top of their base is forcing tanks that could have been attacking our base to come back and deal with us. Jagdpanther 2, after being spotted in the middle of the open field there, did the only sensible thing he could and moved forward to get under a line of fire, and oh look, there's the SU-100M1. And not anymore, and we've also killed the Jagdpanther 2. However, they are capping our base, and there is an awful lot of them up there, so maybe I really should start capping. Yeah, IS-3 in the cap. Well, okay, KV-4 trying to come back and reset. I'm going to reverse into the cap. If I need to, I can always drive out of the cap. And from here I can still shoot at that KV-4, who's the only other thing that is actually within shooting range, or at least he will be when he gets spotted again. There he is. And it bounces. Well, it is a KV-4. This is where my luck kind of went a little bit south here. I've got side shot. I mean, he is angled a bit, but he's not angled that well. And that's when I suddenly realised, hang on a minute, do more than 1,000 damage and participate in the successful capture of the enemy base? Am I finally going to get this bloody heavy tank mission done? I've had this mission for something like 2 months. Yes! I've done it! 3 missions, one after the other. Without even really trying to get it done, at least until the last one, which I only realised was going to happen in the last couple of seconds of that game. So, Quickie Baby, top on damage done. Not really surprising, but somehow I managed to come top on experience earned, which is nice. And heavy tank mission relentless raid completed. Participate in a successful capture of the enemy base and do over 1,000 damage. Didn't see that one coming, and it's just typical, isn't it, that after weeks upon weeks upon weeks of trying to get these missions done and eventually giving up, suddenly 3 missions complete, one after the other, without even trying. World of Tanks, you so silly. So I think I'm on a roll here. I'm unstoppable. Let's try to get a light tank mission done. Spot 2 enemy tanks before they spot you. M41 Walker Bulldog, tier 9 match on the Siegfried line, but there's only 2 tier 9s on the enemy team. This shouldn't be too difficult. Unspotted enemy Tiger 2 says, that's a nice ammo rack you've got there. Would be a real shame if something would have happened to it. Bugger. Take care, folks. I'll catch you next time.